What's up, everybody? We're going to do a special video today, and this is geared more towards isopods. What we're going to do is we're going to make our own flake soil. It can be really hard to buy online. Amazon, I found maybe one vendor. You might be able to pick some up at shows, but thankfully you can actually make your own, and it doesn't take too much work, too much effort, or too many supplies. So what we have here, we've got some smoker pellets. I'm going to be using oak. You want to use a hardwood, you don't want to use a pine. I chose this as an oak blend. We are also going to be using some flour, water, which you want lukewarm for the first part of it. And I've already done the first part because it does take a little bit, but you also need either brewer's yeast or active yeast, baking yeast. But you're going to use that, some sugar and water, and you're going to let it bloom for about 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I'm doing a double batch. So the original measuring cup I did it for a single batch. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to make extra because my 20-pound bag of wood didn't quite match up with the instructions. And the instructions that I did find were actually in, not freedom units, but so I had to convert them. So the conversions might be a little bit off, but it should work just the same. So what I have here, we have 500 mLs, in my case, 1,000 mLs of water to 10 grams of yeast, brewer's yeast, active yeast, and 50 grams of sugar. And the conversions I've written down, I'll show you the instructions at the end of the video. But that's about, not that one. So we're using about 3.2 cups, or just over 3 cups of lukewarm water. We are using 3 1/4 teaspoons of yeast and 1/4 cup of sugar. Mix them all together, let them bloom. And then you are ready for the next part, which we're going to go ahead and do right now with you. But we're going to take a bag plus a little bit more of our oak smoker pellets. The instructions call for 10 liters of pellets. And thankfully, liters is not a weight. It is a quantity or a size. So that comes to be about 2.6 gallons. Now a bag of, I think it's 2.4 gallons of the pellets. Instead of pellets, you can also use sawdust for anybody who's cutting down some oak trees. But again, I'm using pellets. So 2.5 gallons. And I'm going to do a double batch. So I'm going to use a bag and a little bit more. I'm just going to roughly estimate it of pellets. So we're going to go ahead and open up our bag. Thankfully, this one's already got a start. These are just regular smoker pellets. You don't want, it's a little bit noisy. You don't want anything that's been chemically treated, but for the most part, these are just compressed wood. So we're going to do pellets. Lots of dust. All right. There is that. Yeah, we'll add a little bit more. Got the second bag here. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got this. Thank you, Lily. And I think we just lost some dirt in here. We're gonna pull that dirt out because I don't want it. I don't want my bugs eating whatever that was. And we'll pour a little bit more in here. All right, I think that's good. So the next thing you're gonna do to this is you're gonna add about 3 cups of flour. It's a little bit over 3 cups. For one single recipe, it's 1.6 cups. So just over 3 cups of flour. So we have some flour here. I'm gonna go ahead and Lily, if you will reach behind you and get the measuring cup because I did not put it where I was. To Got a measuring cup. Never seen one before, right? Okay. So we're doing 3 cups. A little bit more. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in. There's 1. There's my extra. There's 2. And 1 more. A little bit extra. All right, there is 3+ cups of flour. I think the non-freedom units was 200 grams of flour for a single batch. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this all up. We wanna kind of get these pellets coated with the flour, so we'll do that. I'm using an organic flour because when I can use organic, I do. I think all the flour is going to the bottom, but there you have it. All right, so the next part that we're gonna do, now we've got that mixed up, I don't know if it's really coated, but we're gonna add our yeast. Our yeasty goodness.
The yeast beast.
Yes, and you can tell it is activated because we are nice and bubbly. It overflowed, unfortunately, so I had to switch containers. It was a bit of a mess, and I left it on a heat source that may or may not have been right next to the bearded dragon to get warm. So yeah, there's a little bit on the lid of the bearded dragon's.
Apologize to him when you're done.
Enclosure. It smells really good though. But we're gonna go ahead and pour this on in. I'm gonna spread it out. All right, the extra goodness. We'll scrape it off into here because I want all the goody goods. So this is actually going to provide your, not your bacteria, but the active part that's going to help break down this wood. Now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to mix this around a little bit. Kind of spread out a little bit more. There is our flour. It's all on the bottom because why wouldn't it be?
In fact, it's starting to coat the pellets now. The pellets are wet.
Yep. So that, just like baking, the yeast is going to eat that flour.
It only smells more like bread now.
It does smell like bread, but I mean, we do have bread ingredients in here. We got flour, we got sugar, we got water. We can make bread. This is really dirty bread right now.
Yeah, I want to make this bread.
So the last part that we're going to do now is we need to get all these pellets wet. We're going to add a bunch of water. I'm using spring water because I have spring water in here warm, but you can also use reverse osmosis water or distilled water to do this next part. But you want to get these pellets soaked, but not to the point where, I shouldn't say soaked. What did I break down? I wrote evenly damp, but not soaking. So you want them to be able to clump together, but you don't want them dripping. So I hope I brought enough. There's the Russian terrorist. I hope I brought enough water. I might need to get more water, but we'll go ahead and start this. I'm going to use this to wash my hands while I'm at it, because I want all this goodness in here.
You can use it to wash the bowl too.
Oh, I could use it to wash the bowl. All right, so that is that. Let's go ahead and grab that second jug. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this, get that extra goodness out of here. Somebody is very smart. This is why we're going to go to medical school. Not me, her. All right, and if I get too much water in here, I can always add more pellets, thankfully, because I did not use it all. This is actually really cold. I wish it was warmer. It's been sitting inside, but I think the yeast will be okay. We'll find out in about a week if the yeast is fine. But we're going to go ahead and now mix it up again. We are checking for consistency. Again, we want to clump, but we don't want to drip. Looks like we are going to need more. Oh my goodness. And I've washed my hands off, and guess what I'm doing again? I'm gonna wash my hand off again. Okay, there's a whole bunch of dry down here. You wanna take note because you wanna get this all wet. This is starting to clump over here.
So you see the pellets are breaking down.
Yep, they're soaking up that water.
It's a nice bit of flour you picked up.
Yeah, it is.
Right up against that wall.
All right, well, I found where I'm gonna keep washing off my arm, and it's gonna keep getting reattached, I'm sure. I found where all the wetness is. I mean, dryness. You want some wetness. This might actually be enough, I think. We'll go with this. We'll see if we need any more. All right, mixing up again. Oh yeah, this is actually starting to fall apart. I like this. I like how this is looking. I think we need a little bit more water, so we're gonna pause this and we will be right back. Okay, we're back. Actually, we kind of forgot to start the video. We poured a little bit, not much, of this in. We're gonna go ahead and dump the rest probably of this in, because I see that there's plenty of pellets that are still kind of clumped together. I don't want to break them up. So that looks like it's about here we go again. About 2.5 gallons of water for this whole 20-pound bag of, oh yeah, 20-pound bag of pellets. And this is looking really nice. So right here, and I know it's a little bit dark, but right here, this is the pellets. They've already kind of broken down, but this is what we want them to look like. And I might go ahead and add a little bit more in later, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait till maybe tomorrow or a couple days just to see how this is doing. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take the lid, we're going to cover it. We want a good seal. Mostly probably to keep bugs out, but we also want to put some holes in it. So I already drilled some holes. I forgot to take all the plastic off. Yeah, oh, one little piece right down here. But we are going to go ahead, cover this up, and we're going to seal it. Now the holes are there for a vent because this is going to produce gas. In about a week, this should smell like alcohol. It's fermenting. As it breaks down the wood and the, all the organic material in there. Oh, actually, we forgot one part. It said to go ahead and we are going to compress this. So let's pat this down first. The dry areas. All right, so now this is compressed. Now we will go ahead, we'll put all that stuff in there, and we will cover it up. We're gonna go ahead and seal it up, and we're gonna wait a week. In a week, we're gonna come back in here and we're gonna dig it up. We're gonna get air into this so it can breathe. That way the yeast isn't dying from lack of oxygen. And then every 2 to 3 days, we're gonna come back and start doing the same thing. And then in about a month, maybe 2 months, this should all be broken down into, I'm gonna bring this over here with this. That is the end result. That is our flake soil. This can go into isopod enclosures. It can go into millipede enclosures, but this is another food source. It's organic. They are going to eat this. It's going to actually boost their production. What I do on my enclosures is you can either mix it into the soil. That's not what I do. I literally just throw it on top of the soil as a cover because that's all good food right there for them. And they're going to eat that food. They also, the burrowing ones will get more benefit if you do mix it in. Oh, excuse me, it's warm in here. But if you do mix it in into the soil, they'll get the benefit there. Either way, works great. Great booster, a lot of nutrients going back into the soil and into the isopods. But there you have it. That's how you can make your own flake soil. Now the instructions, as promised, you may want to pause the video, have them written out. Feel free to ask questions. It is in nursing shorthand. I'm very sorry. Q means with. Sorry, C means with, Q means every. This nurse has been nursing for a while, but it's hot in here. Give me a break. But again, there you have it. Feel free to make your own or come see us at one of the local shows where we will be bringing some in and providing it for everybody. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to animals. Bye-bye.